Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or HaKodash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, whom this world ignorantly calls God, the Holy One of Israel, and the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and mercy to the house of David, the hopeful elect, those men that are out here doing his work in sincerity and in truth across the four corners of the earth, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. And much love to the innumerable multitude of you hopeful elect members out there, you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners who may look like the other nations, but are Israelites based on the spirit and based on your bloodline. To you all, I say shalom and greetings, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the spirit. All right, I'm trying to get this one verse. So I'm going to say this. This is not the easiest conversation to have. All right. This is not the easiest conversation to have. And even to word it to where it's, they don't try to hit me and take down my account. So, and I'm going to start by saying this is not medical advice. And I probably even shouldn't have said the M word, but this is not that type of advice. You at the end of the day, you got to pray. You got to, seek counsel. You got to go and get what you need to do to get yourself clear. But that's not really what this is about, right? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have something around ST damage. That's the best way I could put it. ST damage in my title. But it's not necessarily about those. It's about the effects of getting down with certain women. Hey, even for you sisters out there, Well, I'm hoping that most of you sisters are either seeking a man in the Lord, or if you're with a man in the world, there's nothing wrong with him. It's nothing wrong to dwell with him if it's peaceable. But, know who you are lying down next to as far as the intimate sensitivities, if you will. Because I'm not even going to add the clip that I saw because I don't want them to take this down. But it was about the squeeze, the jump shot and everybody that got it. All right. So it was talking about how even lying with them is causing the wording is crazy. I'm trying not to say any keywords that they said. Basically, you can get it from them. The jump shot and the effects of it. It can come on to you and your person. And so we got to be careful with who we getting down with these days. And as much as I hate contraceptives, if you will, you got to use those when you're dealing with someone who you don't know, right? Because it's going to be harmful. Now, we got Yahweh Shai, of course, and hoping he have mercy on us for all the things that we've done in this life. All right. All of the people that we've been with in this life that maybe we weren't supposed to. The Lord keeps us from a lot more harm than we are aware of, but I just wanted to get some scriptures because, the ST damage, that's in part mentioned in the scriptures as well, but we don't really talk about these type of things that often. All right. And so for any of you brothers or sisters that may have gotten something in the past, I pray that the Lord is first of all, is commonly known as it can be healed. All right. It can be healed. Right. I pray that there's one of those symptoms. But even if it's one that's not, and you carrying that around with you, you got to believe that we serve a power that is able to heal. Right. We serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's able to heal any type of thing that's going on in these bodies. However, we know that these bodies are through and they're susceptible to hurt and damage and infirmities, weakness, even talking about intimate weakness, right? Getting down with somebody and getting something. All right. So I'm going to read. I'm going to start with this, because the wording of the Bible is ancient. So it don't always say what it is that it says on paper. Right. So that's why we say you got to go deeper than what you see. Right? This is Leviticus 15:1. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it says, and say unto them, when any man hath a running issue out of his flesh, because of his issue, he is unclean. Right? So it says he is unclean. So if you have an issue that runneth out of his flesh, all right? So firstly, I'm going to say that, I'm going to get what this is talking about. However, you can have, discharge from anywhere in your body, but this is, this can get down to your mamathan, your rod, right? The rod, mamathan is the Hebrew word for your rod. All right. It says, I'm going to read it in NLT. It says, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. Any man who has a bodily discharge is ceremonially unclean. OK. And so when you really go into this bodily discharge, it's going into one of the ST damages. Right. That can cause you the one that is a nickname for is called the clap. That's the main one. All right. And the reason it's called the clap is because, and it starts with a G, and it rhymes with Policia. All right. But it's called the clap because it's a ST damage that's given, right, when you get down with somebody. And when when a man urinates, it sounds like somebody's clapping. That's why it's called the clap. All right. That's how that's a sign that you got it afterwards. But of course, I'm taking a spiritual route and relating this to something that is the new clap, if you will, just make it clap, because these y'all know what I'm talking about, what these people getting from taking what Esau was juicing up in people. Okay. It says, I'm going to go into that word too, but it says, and this shall be his uncleanness and his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue or his flesh be stopped from his issue, it is even uncleanness. All right. So let me go into this word. The word there is zawab. That's the word there for and I meant to look up one more word too. Let me not leave that. That was pretty helpful. All right, but it said bodily discharge. Okay. So the word. Let me read this part first. But it says zawab. It says that's H2 100. It says to flow, gush, issue, discharge, to flow, gush, die, pine away, to flow of issue from woman, have an issue or flux, right? That's usually dealing with blood and a woman in her cycle. Okay. It says to flow, have an issue, gush out, pine away, right? Then when you go to the Strongs for zawab, it says to flow freely as water, specifically to have a sexual flux, all right? A sexual discharge. That's what it's going into. It says figuratively to waste away, also to overflow, gush out, have a running issue, pine away, run. So when you go into this, it's talking about a sexual discharge, okay? And, not all things like that give you a discharge, right? Some of them, and a discharge is like, if your rod is leaking, and I'm not talking about from urine, right? And it might not have to be, pouring out. And I've never had this, by the way. Let me throw that as a disclaimer out there. I've never had this, but I've known people that have had it. We used to watch educational videos on it in like classes that I took, stuff like that. So I haven't had it. I'm just throwing that out there, and I'm not shaming anybody that has, by the way. But you need to be more conscious about where you putting your mamathan. All right. And ladies, who you letting come up in your quabah. Right. That's your parts down there. That's what that's called. Right. So you need to be more careful about who you getting down with, man. And I'm once again, if your say for instance your partner took the squeeze, I'm not telling you to leave that person. This is not me telling you that. I'm not telling you to stop doing what y'all do on your own private time. Or it says no between a man and a maid, right? So I don't like I said, this is not advice. The only advice that I'm saying is be careful with who you lay with moving forward. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not telling y'all, we don't break up marriages. We don't do that kind of thing over here. I'm just giving you what I've learned, the information that I've learned. All right, just to throw that disclaimer out there. But when you go into Zawab in the lexicon, it says to flow properly used of water. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It says it is also often used of the female catamenia. So I looked up catamenia. What is that? That's talking about a woman's cycle. And the fact that it said called a cat, I thought that was interesting. But that's another word. That's a scientific word for a menstrual. Okay, catamenia. All right. It says Leviticus 15-25, or of this seminal, right? Speaking of semen, seminal emission of Palacia, right? Starts with a G, of males. Okay. So this discharge is talking, that's one form of it. But I'm telling you because I don't want you just basically being wise with the women that you getting down with when you ain't got the plastic on, when you ain't got the glove on. You know, you got to start being, wise about no glove, no love with, you got to be no glove, no love if it comes down to women who you just don't know nothing about, or if they took that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because brothers, at the end of the day, we believe in the Lord, but we also say not to tempt the Lord. So, and I will say, and this is by the power of the Lord, I will say I've always had an eye, and it's just me. This is not me. I'm speaking as a man. I'm not trying to sound proud or puffed up, but I will say I typically know a lot about a woman as far as her cleanliness down there, and I'm talking about for the ST damage. Sometimes I can look at a woman and tell if she's clean, if she takes care of her area down there, and she don't just let everybody get down with her. I would say for the most part, and this is the mercy of the Lord, because who knows, the Lord could have got me out of so many situations. He could have had me out jacked up out here. So I'm not trying to seem holier than thou. I could have been, the Lord could have destroyed me in so many ways. But I'm saying I usually have an eye for that kind of thing. It's like I was like, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I know that's usually she done got down with too many men. Something's going on down there. I don't feel clean about it. And the aroma is I can look at a woman and tell. I don't even have to have her take her pants off. You know what I'm saying? But another sign, brothers, if you don't, and I'm sure y'all know, but of you taking them pants off and it ain't smelling right, there was one instance where, not involving me, my friend was telling me about this girl who she hadn't had too many partners, and you could smell her aroma down there like pretty severely, and I always tell brothers, now there's a difference between the natural smell of a woman down there versus nastiness. Of course, the sweeter it smells, the greater. The clearer it smells. I want that thing smell like got water in it. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell the difference between a natural woman's smell, and I'm not trying to get explicit. I'm just being honest, But to a natural woman's smell versus nastiness and discharge and ST damage, I can always tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? I can always tell the difference. And so, but when if they pull them pants off, you smell that thing, man, just being real. One time I did smell this one woman, who I wanted for some time. I was a little younger, and she pulled them pants off. I smelled that thing, man. I pulled my stuff up and just, we laid back down for a second. I made up a random conversation, and then, I sent her on about her way. You know what I'm saying? Because I instant turn off, if you will, and instant soft. You know what I'm saying? It's like that ain't okay. So those are indicators, is what I'm saying. So, but this is talk about that jump shot, that, you know what I'm saying? That yob. That's what this is really talking about. I'm tangling two different conversations in one on this. You know what I'm saying? So, but my point when bringing that up was, I have heard stories of certain women who might just have, they might be dealing with a yeast infection or, something like that down there. There are things that can help that. They got store products, Vagisil, Douches, things like that. Woman can change her diet, something that she may be eating, like I said, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I'm just throwing a couple things out there, and sisters, I'm not trying to shame any of y'all either. You know what I'm saying? But it's things that if you feel like that's something that's on you, it's something that you can do better. Eat more fruit, eat more fruit, drink more water, learn about your diet, because you want that area to be pleasing to a man. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for you brothers too. Make sure you washing up down there, And don't be going with the dirty D. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you taking care of yours too, But yeah, so my point in that, it goes into that policia with a G, It rhymes with policia, in case somebody missed that. All right. Okay, so it also says to flow away, to become liquid. You see? So a lot of people are now starting to take on what the people got from Esau. They're getting it. They're getting it, man. And so I just wanted to really get brothers to understand that. Just be careful. You know what I'm saying? Because I know brothers be, wanting to get down and stuff like that. But we gotta, these women nowadays, man, and I'm not even trying to talk about that, but these women nowadays have been with a lot of people, y'all. Have been with a lot of people, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like they openly proclaiming it. They had the Brittany Renner chick on there talking about she had, she slept with 3 dudes in 24 hours. That's disgusting. 34 men. Even if she said 34, she's lying. She's in the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? But 34 men, she's lying. And not only that, that's disgusting. That land is greatly defiled and greatly polluted, brothers. But I'm gonna read this for some balance for any brother that is dealing with something like this. It's James 5:14. It says, Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up, and if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. Right? And so this goes into different types of sickness. But is that not a sickness? The ST damage is a sickness. And it may be some brother that got something that he thinks is unhealable. But hey, man, brothers can put hands on you. We're coming into the time of healing. Brothers can put hands on you, can believe. But see, this is the thing. You can't just read verse 14, right? The first 14 is the duty of the member and the brothers that are praying, right? Let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. Right, and the other end is the 15 is the part that the brother who's getting prayed on needs to believe. It says, and the prayer of faith shall save the sick. So that goes into the brothers praying in faith over him, right? But there's also the man believing in faith, right? That's a twofold right there. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up soon because I pretty much got my points that I wanted to get. But, that was Leviticus 15:3. And so you can go into that. But see, as you read this, it's almost comparable to a woman that's on her catamenia. This is Leviticus 15:25. It says, and if a woman have an issue of blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness, she shall be as the days of her separation, she shall be unclean. So technically, we're supposed to be away from our partners, the women, when they're on that cycle. We're supposed to be away from them. They're supposed to have their own space, be in their own places. But we're in Babylon, so we got to dwell with our women at the time. But you're not supposed to get down with them intimately during that time. Of course, she's going to sit on your bed. She's going to sit on your chair. So that thing isn't just unclean. Now, well, it is unclean, but we just got to deal with it because we in Babylon. We don't got the resources, the wealth, the power like the Lord is is going to make available for us. In the kingdom of heaven, they're going to have their own place. She's going to go away for her period of time, her 5-7 days, however long it is for her, right? And then when she come back, when she clean again, we'll be reunited, you know? So, but brothers, just beware. Beware who you laying with. That's pretty much what I'm saying, because they passing that thing around, all right? And you did not take it in your arm, you know, just to get it through laying down, right? So I'm gonna put it like that. So, hey, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. Until next time, Shalom.